Welcome back to the Flex Diet Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mike T. Nelson. And today on the podcast, I've got my good friend Ali Gilbert, and we are talking all about going to live seminars. If you are a fitness enthusiast, a coach, personal trainer, why you should go, what is the benefit of attending live in person, what type of questions should you ask? What should you be expected to do? What if you're super nervous about showing up in person? What are some tips for you? So we talk all about that on the podcast today, share some stories of how it's been beneficial, both of us, by going to live events. Speaking of live events, there is one coming up this March in Vegas. It is March 6th and 7th, 2023 at the Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. It is the Real Coaches Summit. You can go to www.realcoachessummit2023.com. I will be presenting there. Ali will be presenting there also. There's a whole wide range of speakers over 2 days. From Alex Viada is going to be there talking about cardio for body composition. My good buddy Andrew Coates, how to build credibility and authority and a brand so good people line up to follow you. Brad Jensen, Christy Campbell, Dr. Dwayne Jackson, Eve Guzman, Lacey Lopez, Jed Tata. He's actually might be even doing 2 talks. My buddy Dr. Jonathan Mike, Jordan Lips, Julie Davey, Kate Callan, and many others. Make sure to check this out. As I said, I will be presenting there. I will be doing a talk entitled Fat for Fuel to Get Leaner and Carbs for Performance. How to Master Metabolism with Metabolic Flexibility. Also, Sam Miller will be there, Stan Efferding. Check out all of the coaches there. There's several others I didn't even mention. Real Coaches Summit 2023.com. No affiliate link or anything else. Actually, they're not paying me anything to do this spot. Ali and I got together and we thought, hey, this will be cool. We'll record a podcast, give some tips for people who go to live events, why they should go to a live event. And yeah, we'll be at that one. So enjoy this wide-ranging conversation about going to fitness events live with Ali Gilbert.
How are
And you
you?
were good. You were gone somewhere doing a presentation or something? I can't remember.
Oh, Thursday. I was up. Orlando's 2.5 hours away. I did just like a random talk at the PGA show.
Oh, nice.
Always interesting because it's like the most massive exhibit hall. Like it takes a half hour to walk like back and forth. And over time, they've slowly incorporated like the fitness section, which is still really small. But they have a TPI area and Perform Better as a booth and stuff. So they've been doing like these random talks and it's like rogue because there's chairs, but it's like in the middle of the whole exhibit hall. So you never know who's going to wander over. Yeah. But I've done that every year the past like 5 or 6 years. I just get up and I just yell. I'm like, all right, penis. And then everyone turns around.
That works.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Nice. Yesterday we had the Great Northern Festival here, and I went down and did a live podcast with my buddy Thaddeus Owen, with our friends Krista, all about cold water immersion and sauna. So did that for an hour and a half. So that'll be out on her show. Is it Rebel and Be Well? And then we got to try a bunch of different saunas down there and hang out. And yeah, it was super fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because it must be freezing out there right now.
It was cold. We were supposed to do the cold water immersion after, but paradoxically, it was too cold. So the city of Minneapolis said it was a safety hazard, I think, because people getting in cold water, but I also think because as the water comes out, it was, what was it, 5 above, I think. So when it's that cold, the water, any water that comes off you or comes out of the tub is going to freeze solid instantly. So I would imagine the whole areas around it would just be like a skating rink.
Oh my God, that would be a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah. So We didn't do that, but it was fun to go from one sauna to the next, and just you walk outside and there's just steam coming off everything. Jody was on the news. They wanted to interview some people doing it, so I think she's on a news clip somewhere.
That's awesome. Oh, how fun. When are you
Yeah.
guys going for this event? Are you going to go over the weekend, fly into
Yeah,
Vegas?
we get, do you remember, honey, for Vegas, we get in there Sunday, right? Till Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah, so we get in Sunday. So we'll be at the event Monday and Tuesday. Then we have one extra day Wednesday. I think we're trying to, you probably know Zach Couples, right? Yeah, so we're probably trying to hang out with him on Wednesday and just open day to do whatever, and then fly back on Thursday.
Awesome.
Yeah. When are you going to be there?
I don't know. What'd she say?
She said, come party with us.
By party, do you mean go to bed at 10?
Yeah, that's what I normally do at home. I was in bed by 8:30 the other night.
Yeah, Vegas is not like the old NSCA Vegas days. That's for sure. It's a whole different animal now.
Yeah. I haven't been to Vegas for, the last time I was there was 3 years ago, I think, for the ISN conference. 4 years ago, maybe now. And that was fun.
So
Just a couple of
pre-COVID.
us. Yeah, like it was 2019 or 2018. But it was good. A bunch of us just went out. Out of all the places to go, we go to the ice bar in Vegas, which I thought was myself, Lonnie Lowry, and one of the other instructors from Ohio. I'm like, okay, so all the places to go, we go to this place. And it was interesting because they give you like these fancy fur coats to wear in the bar. And we hadn't even started drinking yet. We're just like, we don't need any of those. And so I'm in there in just like a t-shirt, and people are just like, oh my God, that guy must be so drunk. And I'm like, no, I'm just from Minnesota. But we did have a fair amount to drink then. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was like 34 degrees in there. But yeah, it was a fun night. Next day was a little rough.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Vegas. We went for a wedding in like 2021, and it was weird because there's a lot of the buffets or restaurants weren't open, and
oh yeah,
it was still really weird. It was like not the usual, like the strip was not as crowded as you're used to seeing it, obviously, but yeah, I haven't been to do anything like really fun.
Yeah, I'm good with going to Vegas like about once every 5 years, and that's about my max.
Yeah, and anything longer than 4 or 5 days is
too no.
Even that's long, but we'll be in the conference. I don't know. I don't even remember what's like planned or whatever. I think there's something at night.
Might be. I don't know. I sound like an old boring person now, but I usually just go where everybody goes. And I've noticed like the events, the older the people are, like they rarely leave the bar at the hotel, which is just fine with me. I'm like, that's cool.
Totally.
I could be wherever. And if the people are cool, then that's fine.
Dude, I'm with you. I'll hang with you guys too. Cause like the one night I could probably push it like past bedtime, but then 2 in a row, that's a lot. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I used to do that when I have to teach sometimes 2 or 3 days in a row, especially if I was the only person teaching. And then I got wise. Like I used to be like, I got to get on the flight Monday morning and fly back home. And oh my gosh, I would be destroyed for 2 days. So then I got wise and I'd be like, I'm going to stay an extra day, sleep in on Monday, do some work in the afternoon, or Sunday night if there was like a float tank nearby. I would just, after everyone's done hanging out, go there for an hour and a half, go to bed, have a relaxing day Monday, get caught up on all the stuff that I didn't get done, sleep in, go exercise, and then come home Tuesday and I could actually feel like I could function instead of trying to get home as soon as possible. And yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, you're smart. That's the smart thing to do. And I was talking with Luke last week because I'm planning the next Silverback for, I think, August, but
okay.
In Austin.
Oh, in Austin. Oh, yeah. Cool.
It won't be hot there. I was thinking like the New York area or like Hoboken, New Jersey, which is right outside New York, because that might be cheaper. No, it is all so expensive that I'm just like, yeah, hard pass. So Luke's, do it in Austin, because he's like trying to get over here. And he said that they have a new government in Australia where they're expediting the permanent residency passes, because Zoe could easily leave, but he can leave, but it's iffy if he can come back, or I forget what it was.
Okay.
So he wants to come like July, August. He wants to come for a month and then do like seminars and stuff like that, and then come to Florida. And then we're planning a silverback in Australia in November.
Oh, fun.
Go back. Yeah. So he'll be here probably 6 to 8 weeks because he hasn't been home in
Oh yeah, a long
4
time.
years, 3 years. Yeah.
Oh, fun. Yeah, hopefully
So
the seminar's early August, because we'll probably be in Finland for 10 days in August, I think. So
it has to be the front. Yeah. Because Perform Better is at the end. So I
okay.
can't do it. But it's like the first 2 weeks because I also asked Rick Collins to speak. So he is
Oh,
available.
I love Rick.
Yeah. It's as you're planning these things is a like nightmare. No matter what month you do it, everyone's like, this goes on. Someone, oh, make sure there's no football game at Texas. I'm like, I don't care anymore for stuff like that. Like, honestly, I'm not going to check when football games are. Like, I just want a date and then that's it. But it will be in those first 2 weeks.
Yay. Yay, that's great. Because I also got tickets to see Gojira, Mastodon, and Shore, which is August 27th. And I bought myself the backstage passes for Mastodon. So I got to be back August 27th.
That is awesome. I'm guessing Jody doesn't go with you to those.
She might go with to this one. It's pretty cool. It's at a new venue and it's outside.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which will be really fun. So two of our other friends I know are going, and yeah, so I'm super excited because I'm huge fans of all three of those bands.
That's awesome. I love that you're into that.
Yeah. I know today we've already been talking, but you're talking about planning events and we're talking about going to live events. Why do you think people should go to a live event? Because I think there's a trend now of not old people like us, but like the younger people in the industry are like, I don't need to go to these events, especially post-COVID. I watch stuff on YouTube. I can pay for info. Like $10 is good enough. Why should I even bother going to a live event?
I know. It's funny because there's never been a time where there has been so many. Like back in the day, I'm going to think like maybe 2004, at least for me, when I got out of college, you had the NSCA events and then the Perform Better events. And that was really it. Perform Better does 4 every summer. And then the NSCA had various ones throughout the year. And else was, I don't know what other organizations, but I know that for me, like I would plan my vacations around that, because when you're a young trainer, like you're not necessarily getting paid time off. A lot of people don't work for themselves so much, but you realize the importance of these because the relationships that you make. And I know now, I think I was talking about this on a live with Aram the other day, that planning my own event now, I can call back on the relationships I made in my early 20s at the NSCA events, at the Perform Better events, because I've continued those relationships because my friends are people I see at seminars.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that makes you sound like a loser, but like we don't really hang out with a lot of people at home. It's usually when we go to seminars that's like the reunion. Like our whole wedding was basically a Perform Better reunion. That's our thing. And I think that missing out on those types of friendships and relationships professionally are a big mistake, because if you want to succeed in some niche or you want to really develop your craft, it's nice to have people that you can call or talk to or bounce ideas off of, especially nowadays when things are more isolated and there is a saturation of online coaching. I don't talk to everyone. I don't have people around me throughout the day, but I know like back in the day, it was the time that we would spend at the bar just sitting and talking with people before we had phones to check. We had Blackberries, I think. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. Like I
phone.
remember, I'm old enough, I'm 48 now. So I was old enough in the early 2000s to go to events. I don't even think did I even have a cell phone then? I don't even know if I did. I think the first cell phone I got was like 2003, maybe 2002. I had one for work for a while, but yeah, but even then it was old school flip phone. It wasn't anything fancy. And I remember one of the first live, like big events I ever went to was in Los Angeles. It was Eric Cressy, Mike Robertson, John Berardi. I think Kevin from the Fitcast was helping with it, Dan John. And I remember I was working with Eric Cressy at the time when he just started. And he's like, oh, you got to go to this event. I'm like, man, I'm broke. I don't have any money. And he was super nice and encouraging me to go and gave me a discount because he was one of the presenters. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had only gone to one. Actually, that was later. The testosterone or the T-Fest thing was actually even after that. I think the LA one was the first one that I went to that was out of the state. And it was surprising to me because I was like, oh, like you can talk to the presenters. I just assumed like I would see them on stage and I would never see them again. That was my assumption. And everyone there was like super cool and very interested, like authentically interested in you. And I remember riding down the escalator with John Berardi and him asking me, he's like, oh, what's your name? What do you do? And so, oh, how's your training going? I'm like, John Berardi's asking me about my training. This is insane.
Yep.
And he was just super nice and super cool. And yeah. And then 15 years later, I crashed their potluck in Toronto and just went up the line. I'm like, hey, how's it going? And ended up doing peer review for Precision Nutrition, was one of the early people on their forum. And yeah, so I think even just those, even if it's a very brief relationship, I think it's beneficial to have those in person. You can't necessarily replicate it over just video per se. There's just something not super tangible about it that's different.
Yeah. And the energy of somebody is like completely different. And on video, I encourage this anyway, but paying somebody for an hour of their time is different than when it's like an organic relationship where you're just hanging out or you're in an elevator. Like I remember those moments where you're just like, I talk, do they
Right.
want to talk to me? Like, what do I ask them? I don't want to talk shop, but I don't know what else to say. Like, you know, those moments. And also because you actually can talk to them about the craft itself. And I think that with the online coaching world being so weird in the sense that nobody tells you like what your day-to-day schedule should be, it's nice to talk to other people about what they do every day, because no one says you should check your clients' chronometers from this time to this time and make sure you do XYZ. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you how to manage your time. And talking to other people who go through the same stuff, I know that's like super, it's validating, but it's also really refreshing because you're just like, all right, cool, I'm doing enough, or shit, I'm not doing enough, or I should do this, or that's a great idea. Like you're not going to really get that anywhere else because you're around so many other people that are doing the same thing as you.
Yeah, especially if you own your own business, it's very easy. I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple of months ago that I've realized I'm like, oh, so probably, especially over the last 4 years, especially that I think almost all of our really good friends own their own business or work remotely. Like you end up just, whether it's schedules, whether it's hobbies, like things you do, it just ends up moving in that direction. And I think part of that, like I said, is schedule wise, but I think part of it is just you have more things in common. And I worked in a cube for a medical device company for 12 years. So I get it. But I was telling Jody, my wife, the other day, even, I'm like, oh, another year that we don't have to work in a cube. This is so much better. And the same buddy I was talking to, I'm like, yeah, after doing this for so many years now, I think Uber driver is higher on my list than going back into engineering and being in a cube. Like just because of the freedom and I get to do whatever I want. Granted, the unsexy portion is you're maybe doing podcasts like on Sunday morning, like we are, or you're working at 10 o'clock at night because some shit happened during the day and you didn't get stuff done. But yeah, I'd much rather do that. And it's nice to talk to other people in person who are doing something similar. And you realize that you're not this sort of lone weirdo doing all this odd stuff by yourself.
No. I was like, I was saying the other day, do you remember it was like early 2000s? If somebody did online training, they were like this weird unicorn that never trained people in person. They lay on a beach in Bali, like
drink martinis all day, little foo-foo drinks with umbrellas in them and shit.
Yeah. And if you said that you did online coaching, that was like
that was a joke.
Yeah. Or if I remember going to NSCA conferences and I was so like paranoid of saying that I was a trainer or like a fit pro or something other than a strength coach, you were looked at a certain way. Like it was not cool to be a trainer. Yeah. Obviously now it's whatever term you want to use for what you do. But those instances where I'm just like, yeah, I'm a strength coach. Like I can be whatever I want. And you're still making friendships and you never know where that leads. And I know that was like a mini tangent, but I'm trying to think of like the reasons why people may not realize. Oh, another one, the expenses. Like I know that obviously a thing because there's so many events and you have flights and you have hotel. Do you remember? I think it was like 2006 or something where they used to have on the NSCA website message board.
Yes.
And I did that in Vegas one year and it was a guy. And I was like, this is interesting. And I met him when I got there. I think he had a name that was either man or woman. And I guess I didn't care. I've roomed with guys. I don't care. And so I meet him at the bar and then he just went off with some chick. And I was like, sweet. Do I get the room by myself? Do I pay for it? Stuff like that. Obviously, it's a lot easier to find someone to room with if you need to. But I think a lot of coaches see that as a very large expense, which it can be, but you have to almost position it like an investment where what can you do to make that happen if you want to go bad enough? I remember I would borrow stuff from my mom, or not borrow, but steal toilet paper, not go on vacation. That was my vacation because we didn't get paid to go to seminars. That was definitely on your own dime, but it pays off. And to circle back to show people what that can turn into, like the relationships that I made in the NSCA early on, back in 2016, because of that, there was an organization of guys who went to China to teach in China, and they remembered Ali's good at golf fitness stuff. Ali, do you want to come teach in China? Sure. Had I never talked and cultivated those relationships, that would have probably never happened. Why would I be considered if I was just hiding at home and not going out in the wild talking to people? And same with Titleist, going through the golf fitness world, hanging out at the live seminars and stuff like that. And then a few people went to the Philippines. Ali, do you want to teach in the Philippines? Those are things that can happen if you want to do stuff like that. But those are things that you never know, because people will call you like 8-10 years later and be like, I've watched you on social, I've done XYZ. Would you be interested in doing this event? Probably similar to us doing this event. So stuff like that, you never know when that will happen, but it's always important to create the relationship first, because otherwise it can come across very transactional. So you and I had zero relationship whatsoever. And I just called you out of the blue and I was like, can I be on your podcast so I can promote my whatever? No. Had I never talked to you ever or shown an interest in anything, or the fact that, hey, you and Luke are really close friends, like none of that, you don't want to come off like that. People, it's so important to talk to people outside of when you need them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And your point of, I mean, man, I can think back on so many things that happened just because I was at a conference. Like one of the real early ones was Jose Antonio from ISN called me up in 2010, I think. And he's like, hey, do you want to come do a talk at ISN? We saw you're doing research on metabolic flexibility. And at first I was like, wow, let me think about it. At the time, again, I'm like, God, I have no money at all. I'd like all my money is going to my PhD because I'm trying not to take out another loan because I had 50 grand in debt from the first 8.5 years of college, blah, blah, blah. And I remember seeing the preliminary list of what was published when I saw that Lou Schuler was presenting and my buddy Lonnie Lowry was going to be there. And I'm like, oh man. So on my little list I had written of goals was have an article in Men's Health published by Lou Schuler as one of the editors. And so I'm like, I don't know Lou. I don't know anyone who knows him. I'm not going to just cold call him because I know he hates that shit, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but if I go to the conference and we're both presenting, then we have that in common. And then we're like peers, even though we don't know each other, because I'll look at the list and see who's presenting. Oh, okay. They must have done something to get that thing, especially at bigger conferences, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a automatic in because they've been vetted by someone else, so to speak. So I called Joey up. I'm like, hey man, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And so I get there and now I'm trying to think, I'm like, okay, so now my goal is Lou must come to my talks. I'm talking about metabolic flexibility. But I'm like, but I don't even know him yet. And it just so happens that we walk in, we're both late, and I literally run into him in the hallway. And I was like, oh, hey, I said, you're Lou Schuler. Yeah. I said, what talk are you trying to go to? He's like, I'm lost. I'm trying to find this room. And I don't remember what room he said, but I'm like, oh yeah, me too. which I was lost. I couldn't even remember what talk I was going to. But I'm like, great, let's go to we figured it out. Just started talking to him afterwards. Turns out he knew my buddy Lonnie Lowry, so they started talking. And long story short, convinced them to come to my talk. We ended up having a discussion afterwards about it. He pitched it to Men's Health and ended up being like one of their cover stories in like 2010, which I've had other opportunities where I've had those thoughts in my head and like nothing has happened to it. Like I never even saw the person ever again. So it's not like a guarantee that stuff's going to work out. But I know for sure if I wasn't there, I hadn't met him, I hadn't done the talk. Later got to present it a bunch of times at the fitness summit. Went to the first one just on my own because I thought it was cool. Talked to the promoter. Again, Lou was there also. He's, oh yeah, I remember you, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of times you don't know for sure what's going to happen. And there's a lot of other things that just happen by happenstance. This person knows that person who knows that person. You both happen to be in the same room. So it's like, oh, hey, you got to go talk to over here.
Totally. And it's also so energizing. I remember leaving these events and having, it was like a mild depression for a week or so.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like so charged up and you'd be around other people that you felt understand you. Like, wow, that girl has huge quads too. And oh, these people, they don't really party much anymore either. And just everyone's kind of like into the same nerdy shit that you are. Where if you don't have that at home, like I never did, I never felt like I fit in a lot. You totally go, it's like going somewhere where everyone knows your name and you just fit in. And so that's where you can find people that are about what you are about. And like you said, with the opportunity that you just never know that you might get, but it's pretty cool just to, I don't know, hang out in person, since we haven't really all done that for a couple years now, because it is scary. This is the time to do it. There's so many events that if you don't find one that resonates with what you want to learn, or maybe where you want to be, or even if it's just one person, if someone's been just dying to meet you, they've done the Flex Diet certification, they've studied everything that you've done under any organization, and then they just get to meet you at one event, I think that's worth it. So I think people should, I don't know, consider that and look at the speakers, and also consider stuff that maybe doesn't resonate with you. This is a polarizing topic. Could be stuff that maybe you don't agree with. I think it's good to challenge yourself in that way as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure this is similar for you, that I always have a hard time with online stuff of who do I answer questions to, because now you can get access via DMs to Facebook and Instagram and newsletter. And sometimes I have a real issue with who do I get back to? Because in a perfect world, I'd love to get back to everyone. But at some point, it's just not a sustainable thing. So in my brain, I have to prioritize, okay, people who've spent money on certifications, obviously I'm going to answer their questions, no problem. Maybe if you're on the newsletter, I'll try to answer those as best that I can. And direct DMs via Facebook, whatever, if I get to it and if I find it, maybe. But in person, you already know that, okay, this person showed up from God knows where, sometimes foreign countries, with an 8 to 12 hour flight, which is a more added expense, paid for the hotel, paid for the seminar. So they're obviously vested for some reason. And for those people, it's like I've stayed at the bar talking to people till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning just because they had intelligent questions. And you know that all those people there are vetted because they've already put skin in the game, they've showed up. So you know that they're serious. Where I'm sure this has happened to you, where you get a laundry list of questions from Facebook and you're like trying to get back to the person and you just get another laundry list of questions. And then you're like, wait a minute, what did you do with the thing I told you 3 emails ago before? Because due to the time frame, like you couldn't possibly done all those things. Oh yeah, I didn't get to it yet. Oh, okay. So I'm going to answer like 30 more questions from you that you're going to do nothing with. So then I just cut those people off. But in person, you already know that those people are invested in it, and you know that the odds of them doing something based on your conversation is a lot higher. So I feel like it's a good investment of my time to answer their questions.
Yeah, and because a lot of the men who ask me very sensitive questions, I think some people, it's scary asking even over the internet because people screenshot stuff, and it's not like
Oh,
I'm
sure.
screenshotting these things, but getting me in the corner, and for a man to admit that he's having some sexual performance issues and he doesn't know who to talk to, that's a big deal. So I respect that, because that takes balls to ask, number one, but also to actually show up, seek somebody out. Maybe they came just to ask you that one question. That's really cool. I remember because I was there. I mean, I started going to these when I was right out of college, and it was like terrifying to talk to the speakers because you put them on this pedestal. The fact that they're just like, hey, what's up? Do you want a drink? You're like, what?
Yeah.
Me? Yes. I don't even like drinking that. I'll drink whatever you buy. Whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And also that, for example, for you, I'm sure you get questions of, hey, my testosterone's low. Why? And in your head, you think, fuck, it could be like 1,000 different things, right? So the amount of back and forth you'd have to have even to get to a potential root of the question or to figure out what for them to do next, that's a lot of back and forth on email, messenger, whatever. But if you're in person, it's a much easier conversation because you could ask them a question that could be like, oh no, my sleep's pretty good, my fat's not that low, my stress is okay, here's what I've done. Like, you feel like you can make more progress in a shorter period of time versus this disconnected, asynchronous back and forth forever.
100%. Yeah, usually it's, hey, can I show you my labs? This is what I'm dealing with. So it's a more intimate environment, if you want to use that term. But it, like you said, you can't repeat that over video. Even with consultations, I've had guys cry and stuff like that. It's going to be different when it's in person. So I enjoy that aspect just because I also try to give as much as I can. Just, I remember being a broke trainer.
Oh yeah.
Like, you spend so much to go to this one event. It's like going to Disney World for a fitness professional sometimes. And people look forward to that stuff. I treated them like social events of the year because that's what they were for me, at least, because I didn't have a ton of friends at home, and you look forward to seeing people every single year too. So a lot of these events, I hope they do repeat each year so that people can look forward to it. And now there's so many different niches that you can go where you can find like multiple talks over the topic that you want to hear about versus just one here off. So there's a lot of that info. I mean, there's so much.
Yeah. And I think just even the informal relationships you build over the years, because some people, like, I only see them at conferences. Yep. Like, I remember going to the Swiss conference and talking to John Berardi and JL and Jeff Gervais, who runs Bang. And they're like, hey, we're going out to dinner at the steakhouse across the way. Do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah. I remember just sitting there going, this is surreal. Like, I'm sitting here with these people. And it was just, we didn't talk about fitness for 3.5 hours. Of course, we talked about it, but it wasn't the number one conversation. It was a wide ranging conversation. And you also realize that people aren't as neurotic as what you think they are. Like, the biggest debate in the whole conversation was John trying to figure out if he was going to have ice cream for dessert or not, because lactose kind of bothers the stomach. That was like the biggest issue of the entire 3.5 hour conversation, where sometimes online you have different personalities all interacting. It gets kind of weird sometimes.
That's so true. Yeah, everyone's like, you're like, oh, they're like a normal person. Like, they didn't bring Tupperware to the
no one was weighing their food. There wasn't this big drawn out agonizing thing about what people were going to order or anything. It was all very normal. Oh, they're normal humans. Shocker.
Yeah, they're just like me. Like that. I remember Luke was like that when I first went to his in-person in 2018 in Vancouver. And I think he does this on purpose. He brings like chicken nuggets to offend all the strength coaches because they think that he's going to be eating all clean and everything.
Yeah.
But he and I, we were so excited. We were in Canada where ephedrine was legal. So I went to the supplement store and I bought 10 like bottles of it. And so we were like popping ephedrine. And I'm like, when are you going to get to do stuff like that? And now he and I have a very close relationship because I've gone all in on a lot of his materials because of the experience I had in person, knowing this is something that I need to do and go all in on. And then you meet the people in person and it just changes things. It's different than absorbing everything through the internet and video and stuff like that, or even virtual seminars and everything. But yeah, you get to like pop ephedrine and weird shit like that will happen after hours. Like, you never know. I used to try to convince all the other female trainers when I was in my early 20s. I'm like, you guys don't understand. There's 4 women at these seminars. There are tons of dudes. You should really go. Obviously, I met my husband at one of these. You just never know what can happen on the personal side too.
Yeah, and
Long-distance
especially with
relationship.
our buddy Luke, I had followed some of his stuff online just on the periphery, and I remember the first post I ever read from him was years ago, and I'm like, what is this? And I don't even remember the topic, but I remember it was some long, like 5-paragraph thing. And I was like, and I remember, I don't even remember the topic, but I remember I didn't 100% agree with it, but I was like, wow, this dude actually did his research though. So I started following some of their stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I met him at my buddy Dr. Ben House's place for the first time in Costa Rica. I hung out for a couple of weeks, and then he invited me to one of his seminars in Atlanta. And then I think it was the second time he was back in Costa Rica. We were just hanging out one night, and he said, yeah, I'm getting married in Australia. And I was like, oh, great, we'll come to your wedding. And he's like, yes, you should totally come to the wedding. And so we're getting ready to, a couple of years later, getting ready to fly down for his wedding, which is 2020, right? I think March, before COVID. And I'm talking to my wife, Jody, and I was joking. I said, yeah, it was so nice of Luke to let me invite myself to his wedding. And she's, what? You didn't get a formal invite to the wedding? And I said, oh, remember that one night we're drinking wine? And I said, yeah, we'll come to your wedding. And he said, sure. I don't know if he expected us to come or not. And he was totally fine with it. But she was like all freaked out. She's, we're flying halfway around the world for a wedding that we invited ourselves to. I'm like, no, it's cool. We're fine.
But that's how Luke is. Like he's like, when I come to Florida, I'm staying with you. I didn't ask you yet, but I'm staying. I'm like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
People just become like part of the family, and you just develop those quick relationships too, where it's like dating. You talk to each other over the internet, and then you meet in person, and then that's your family for the rest of your life. We're all stuck with each other. It's very ancestral too, because everybody does know each other, and it's always 6 degrees of separation and just craziness. Yeah, I love that stuff. I don't know, I still love it. There's a reason we still do it, and we still spend money to educate and go to these. I'll never stop. I just don't understand why people are like, yeah, I don't need to go to anymore. I've done enough. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
and
do you
even
feel that way.
Even just to see people, like there's a couple conferences this year I'm going to that, yeah, I'm excited to see some of the speakers. I think it'll be cool. But in all honesty, like most of it is just, even ones I'm just attending, not speaking at, it's just to see people that I know are going to be there in attendance, that because of COVID and because of other stuff, like I haven't seen for 3 years in person. Just to that, we would see each other a couple times a year. And granted, before 2020, I figured out, I was like, yeah, we've been traveling a lot for 3.5 years. I'm like, what was the longest I've been home in a row for 3.5 years? Oh, 3.5 weeks. That was the longest I was home for 3.5 years. And then after 2020 being forced to be home, I'm like, oh, this is nice. I like being able to train and wake up in my own bed and eat similar food most days and have more of a routine. And so now to start traveling again, which I'm totally looking forward to, it has to be a little bit of a bigger thing to get me to put in the hassle to do it. But even then, I know it's still worth it. I'm probably not going to go back to the same schedule that we did before, but it's still fun to hang out, to meet people, to network, I guess you could say, which I have a question about that. Any tips for, I even hate the word networking. I just don't like the whole concept of it. It bothers me, but that's one of the questions I get a lot is new people are like, oh, I want to go to this conference. I want to see you speak. And I want to hear all about testosterone because my testosterone's low, but I don't know if I should come up and talk to you. Like, I don't know what to do. I work online. I'm very introverted. Any tips to help me out?
If you're a coach and you just don't know how to talk to the speakers?
Yeah, either talk to the speakers or just, it sounds weird. Social skills, because I will be the one to confess, like one of the first conferences I went to 2005 was my friend Phil Stevens was doing as a T-Nation one that they did for 1 year. Dave Tate was speaking, a whole bunch of people were speaking, Dan John, and I was the weird, extremely introverted person. I didn't feel like I fit in fitness. I threw up in the bathroom, I think 2 or 3 times during the event. I was so nervous, but I wanted to go because I wanted to see these people. And I remember riding in the elevator with Dave Tate, and I had literally just purchased a system from him from Lead FTS. And I'm like, God, what do I say to not sound like some nut job? And so all I could say was like, hey, you're Dave Tate, right? And he was so nice. He looks at me and he goes, yeah. I said, oh, I just bought a rack and stuff from you. I was talking to Jim Wendler on the phone. I said, I really love it. It's great. So, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then luckily the doors open and it ended. I was like, oh, whoo, I'm out of that one.
That is so funny. It's so cute though. But I think by this point, somebody like you and I can recognize if someone's nervous, and then we
Oh,
can
yeah.
carry the conversation and everything. So I would not be so worried as to what to say, because anything that you say, don't worry, it's not stupid. And we're not like, I don't know. At least I don't think we're scary people. Like like you said, we're pretty normal. It's debatable, but
Normal is,
yeah,
but
I think you would just treat it like you would any other relationship, where you just start off by saying hi, and then you figure out what somebody does and where they're from. But nowadays it is different, because it's like you can feel like somebody based off seeing their life unfold on social media that they share and everything. So ask something about that, like stuff that we're known for. So if there's something like, people know that I love cars and that I love Jeeps and stuff like that. So you could ask about that. Obviously, the topic we talk about is a great I would just not start off with, can I be on your podcast, Mike?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Maybe wait till Mike asks you and feel that's a good topic. Because also, if we don't know who you are and know what you do, how will we know who you are and what you do if you introduce yourself and plant that seed? Because had we not done that, nobody would know who the hell we are or really care until you do that. And that's how you find what your niche is too, and find your way, because it is very saturated and everyone does come at what they do from their own angle as well. So there's a lot of different ways to do what we're doing. It's not just in home, in a gym, or in a school anymore, which is the options you had basically back in the day.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And two other things that I think is helpful is, like you said, you can talk about stuff that's not fitness related. Again, if I'm at a conference, I could give two shits what I talk about. Like, you can ask me any in-depth questions you want. Like, I don't care, but just treat the other person like a normal human being, right? And if you can find something that you both genuinely actually have in common, that's probably a good place to start, because it's a genuine thing. It's not a made up, like, you're not trying to pretend like you're into Jeeps if they're talking to you and, well, I don't even know what a Jeep is.
Yeah.
So that's probably not a good place to start. And then if you know something about the person, or if you've purchased some of their products, you could ask something specific, right? Because then you know that, oh, they're not just saying, oh, I love your stuff, it's great. They had a specific thing that they mentioned that you had taught about, say low testosterone, whatever. Oh, okay. So they do have a real interest and they've done their homework. And I've noticed that even helps if you're talking to other presenters. Like, I remember being at the fitness summit several years ago, and Stan Efferding was there, who will be at this conference also in Vegas. Super nice guy. And he had it came in about halfway through the first day because he had some other commitments. He flew in late, and he just was attending the seminar, wasn't even presenting, just walks in. It's so funny. And I see the corner of my eye and I'm like, that's Stan Efferding? I didn't know he was going to be here. And right after that, he's just standing there by himself looking around, and you could see everyone look and not know if they should go talk to him or what was going on. And so my wife, Jody, who's so nice, goes over and she goes, oh, hi, who are you? Says, oh, I'm Stan. She says, oh, I'm Jody. And she has no idea who he is at all. And she's, oh, I just wanted to say hi and introduce you to some people. If you're new here, you seem you just got in. And
That's so cute.
Which was so nice. And so I went up and talked to him afterwards. And I said, no offense, man, but I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's, oh, I came here to learn from people like you. I read your article about the protein. He like rattled off like 3 things I had done. And I was like, oh shit. Like, 1, he actually knows who I am. And 2, he actually does have read some stuff that I've actually done. It wasn't just this superficial, oh yeah, I love your stuff. And they can't even name like one thing like you've ever done in your life. So if you actually have an actual interest, it's okay to say what that thing is, as long as it's a legitimate interest. And so then you have some common ground to go from.
Yes, because I'm definitely not at your level yet, but I'm just experiencing where the course that I released last year, people are like, I bought Testosterone School and I really like it. And I'm just like, oh my God, you bought my,
Yeah, I know. That to me is like the hugest compliment, right? Someone spent their
yeah.
hard-earned money and did a course and a product that you actually put out. It's wow, that's still to me crazy.
Totally. I'm just like, oh my, it's almost like you feel seen in a way, in a weird way, because you're like, you bought my, like I made that and you bought it, like you liked
Yeah.
it. Like it's so cool. Like I freak out when people say stuff like that because I just think it's so awesome. So that's always a perfect thing to talk about because then, like you said, it shows a genuine interest. So I know that consuming content of anybody's and being able to talk about it with them is probably the coolest thing on earth, aside from then being able to talk about something completely non-fitness related. I know Charlie loves that. Can we just talk about like Disney or wrestling or something? And I'm like, not everybody likes that. So, you can introduce it to them. But when you have those conversations that are just not shop talk when you're at dinner or something, then that is really cool too. Because then everyone's like normal and they're not on.
Yeah.
So.
And the more conferences you go to, if you feel like you're a little bit of a weirdo and kind of out of place, you'll probably realize that you fit in there more than other places. I remember doing this huge conference in Dallas several years ago before COVID, and a lot of the trainers there were Poliquin devotees, and we're having this big dinner for the presenters, which was great at this big steakhouse. And I'm looking down the table and I'm like, no one's eating bread. I was like, why? And like, I hadn't eaten since like breakfast, which is totally fine, no big deal. And I asked the guy next to me, I was like, hey, so I started eating all their bread. I'm like, hey, is anyone going to finish that other third basket on the end? And so I'm asking the guy next to me, I said, why is no one eating the bread? They're like, oh, gluten's bad. I'm like, oh, so you have a gluten allergy? No. And I was like, oh. And so I started asking people, I'm like, do you eat gluten? It's like, no, it's bad. And it was like the same route answer for everyone. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just ate all their bread, which was fine. But you realize that everyone has their own kind of idiosyncrasies, and it's not really that big deal. I just got more bread, which was great. So if you feel a little weird, you're probably going to be okay at most conferences.
Yeah. And I think they'll soon realize like there's a hedonistic side to a lot of fitness pros with the amount of alcohol consumed. And if I'm going to drink, it's going to be at a seminar where I'm with all the cool people that I like and all that stuff. Like I don't drink much at home. I don't drink at all actually, but I save it for special occasions. And I consider these events were like my drinking events. If I haven't painted the picture of this is clearly how I socialize, I don't know if it's obvious, but if people are looking for that out, like that's okay too. If that's your time to let loose and be amongst the others like you, we're here. We're all weird.
Yes. Any other advice? Any reasons people should go to live events?
I think the financial aspect is a big one for a lot of people. And I would say maybe look at the calendar for the year and decide which ones are the most important to you and just find a way to get there and think, what can I do to work? Is there a room I can share? You don't always have to stay at the host hotel. You can go to Airbnb. If you know somebody at the organization, maybe you can help them work registration, or you never know unless you ask. More often than not, people are very generous when it comes to these events, especially if it's the person running it. So I would say, think about what you want to get out of it and then go all in. If you want to go and you want to talk to like only 3 people, make sure you have a conversation with them, make sure you follow up with them. And I don't want to say get what you need from them, but it's the only time you're going to find them all in one place, typically once a year or so. I forgot what I started with that. Oh, the financial stuff. So yeah, that would be my advice, because that's at least what I did when I was younger and decided that this is going to be what I'm going to allocate funds to. And I still do it as an adult. I'm going to tropical Ohio next month for a week to spend with Dr. Serrano. And I'm doing that instead of snowboarding.
Yeah.
And I'm 41 and this is how I'm still deciding, all right, well, you know what? That 8 days in Ohio in lovely February. Yeah, because I'm going to learn a shit ton and it's going to help me go farther. And so instead of an expense, that's an investment. And I think it actually might be more fun than a snowboarding trip.
Oh, with Serrano, Definitely. And you could probably get the tour of his house and the chickens and the whole stories and everything.
Oh yeah, I've been told that. I've been told we're deadlifting somewhere.
There you go.
We're friends with JL, so I get to go to his
No,
gym.
tell JL in Serrano I said hello.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, if I have to go to Ohio and hang out with people, like I'm going to do it. So if you guys have to, I mean, we have to pull your arm to come to Vegas because it's just such a crazy, awful place. Do we have to go have
Yeah.
fun?
Especially in March.
So I know, God. So it should be nicer weather at night. I don't think they ever really get rain.
In March, I think it'll be beautiful there. Won't be ridiculously hot during the day and pretty comfortable.
Yeah, and this event, the Real Coaches Summit, he positioned it Monday and Tuesday, so you guys can come in on the weekend. You can spend time on the weekend there, or if you want to spend time during the week, go clubbing with Dr. Mike. You can, but yeah, like just pick the destinations you want as well. I think a lot of that has to do with it, but I don't know. For me, like it doesn't matter where it is. If it's the people that I want to see, topics that I want to learn, it can be in Antarctica, South Dakota. I don't care.
Yeah, and the nice part about the Vegas one, which is on a Monday and Tuesday, is yes, you probably have to take 2 days off during the week, but the hotel where it's at is a nice hotel and it's not crazy expensive. So having it on a Monday, Tuesday for airfare and for hotel and for the other stuff probably helps quite a bit. And the handful of times I've been to Vegas in the past, like Monday, Tuesday are definitely the more calm days. So like you said, if you want to get crazy, you can come in on a Friday and be there for the weekend. Or if you're more like us and you want to hang out during the week, then you can do that too.
Oh, yes. Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be fun. It'll be over 2 days. There's a huge wide range of speakers. You want to tell us a little bit about the talk that you'll be giving there?
So I'll be talking about the testosterone. I think I titled it Boners and Biceps because it's one of the few seminars that won't censor that. The PGA show. Basically, because I know that Stan will be talking about a lot of blood work stuff. So I'll just touch on that, but it's really my approach to training men in conjunction with the conversations that have to be had surrounding testosterone and testosterone replacement, but also how to look at training guys to become resilient so that if they do end up on testosterone, it will work very well for them, because guys who tend to be below 20% body fat do a lot better on TRT than guys who are not. And then obviously get into all the nuances of TRT, and I might just go off on a tangent on that. It depends on what everyone wants to learn. Sometimes I save finishing the talk for the night before and talk to the attendees and see what they want to learn and then change everything. I'm sure you're the same way. Like, I don't think anyone finishes their talk like 3 months ahead of time. And this is exactly what I'm going to talk about, but we have a general gist. So what's your topic?
Yeah, I'm doing one on metabolic flexibility, how to use fat for fuel for body comp and carbohydrates for performance. So how you can do both of those. And yeah, similar to you, I like doing presentations like this one, as I expect it'll be a lot more interactive. With some of the really big ones are great. The CA Nationals is great. And I remember presenting there, it was amazing. But the stage was so huge and you could barely see people like out there. There's no way I could answer any questions because I couldn't even see the freaking people. Yeah. And it was fun. It was a good experience. Like, those conferences are amazing to see a ton of people in a very short time. But I kind of like the one like this one where it'll be hopefully a couple hundred people, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that many. And it's probably going to be in a more intimate setting where you could take questions during the talk, or you can have a Q&A. And I find those are that nice sweet spot in between. And similar to you, I like the interaction of it. I don't want to be just like going up there and going, rah, 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 next slide, rah, 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 for an hour. That's boring. So having to be a little bit more interactive, I find is fun. Yeah. And it also, for me, gives me a reason to go back and review everything and make sure that I am up to speed. And it also makes me a little nervous because you never know what someone's going to ask, right? And so I do wake up sometimes sweating in the middle of the night going, oh my God, someone's going to ask me something so basic. And I'm just going to be like, I forgot. I don't know.
That happens to me too. See, hearing you say that makes me feel better because I'm just like, oh my God, what if somebody asks me XYZ? I need to remember this. And it's never as crazy as we make it out to be.
No.
At least
Yeah.
not yet.
So it'll be definitely fun. Thank you so much for talking today. Any last bit of words of wisdom about why they should go to live events to learn stuff?
You never know who you guys are going to meet, and you may meet your new significant other, or I don't know, you'll have some crazy stories to tell, but it'll be worth it. That's all I know.
Yes, I would definitely second that, because it's the unpredictiveness that also makes it fun. Like, I've been to some conferences and not even know what certain person was presenting, and then you realize, oh, that's cool, or you end up sitting next to them at dinner or whatever, and now you're like, oh wow, I didn't know they did this thing, and then a couple years later you're going to their wedding in Australia or who knows what, you know.
Exactly. Yep. Totally. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it's
Thanks for having me.
yeah, my last point is I just think of it as an investment now.
Yeah.
So my mindset is it's an investment. Okay, if I have to add another client to pay for it, I know it'll be worth it. I don't know entirely what's going to happen, but I know historically it's been beneficial. And sometimes, like you said, that may not happen for 1, 2, 3, 4 years later. You've had that happen. I've had it happen where people call you up. Oh yeah, I saw you speak like 4 years ago and I've been following your stuff online. Or I met you at an event and I followed your stuff online. There's something about that in-person connection.
Yep.
And then you can follow their content online. It just seems to mean a lot more than never having met them or hung out and just followed them online. It's a little bit different. So I think you can get some good information. I know for the seminar, people are not able to travel. They can get the recordings. I think they're still able to do that. So if you just want the information and you're going to be out of town or you got something going on, you can't make it, great. You can still get the information. If you can make it in person, I think obviously that's going to be a little bit better. And then we'll put all the information there in the show notes. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you in Vegas. It'll be super fun because I was realizing, I'm like, I don't think we've ever hung out in person yet.
No, it feels like
Seems very odd.
we haven't. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Another reason to go. If you've known somebody for a while, but actually never met in person, it'll be worth that too.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And where can people find out more about you?
At the Ali Gilbert on Instagram. Slide in the DMs.
Cool. Website and about your course?
Come to my summit, the Silverback Summit, silverbacksummit.com. And you guys could buy the recordings from last year or get on the interest list for this year.
Awesome. And then you also have a course on testosterone, correct?
And I do, yes, called Testosterone School, and that's testosteroneschool.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, as always. Really appreciate it. Big thanks to Ali for taking time. Our schedules have been crazy and we wanted to get this one out, so we ended up doing it on a Sunday morning. So big thanks to her for taking time out of her busy schedule to get this done. I highly recommend you check out all of her products. Check her out on Instagram. We'll have links to everything, as always, below. And you can come see both of us live, along with many other people, at the Real Coaches Summit 2023. That is the website. It will be in Las Vegas, Nevada. Vegas, March 6th and 7th at the Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. As we talked about in the podcast, that is actually on a Monday and Tuesday, which is nice because the hotel is much more inexpensive. I think last time I checked, they've got an exclusive hotel rate for around $100 plus fees per night, which is very reasonable for Vegas. There's usually a lot of flights in and out of Vegas, depending upon if you come a day early or when you fly, depending on your location you come from. As we said in the podcast, if you want to go to Vegas and see some shows, get your party on over the weekend, you can come in early, or you can hang out afterwards also. It'll be super fun. We're really excited about the conference. And if you can't make it in person, there will be a way to buy the recordings. Just go to the same website there, and you'll be able to pick up the recordings. Obviously, if you can afford it and it's within reason for you to travel, as we talked about on the podcast, we would love for you to be there. If you are there, drop me a note. Please come up to say hi to either one of us. I go to realcoachessummit2023.com for all the information. Thanks again to Ali for all her time. Thank you for listening to this podcast as always. If there's someone you think may benefit from this information, please send it over to them. I would greatly appreciate it. As always, if you want to leave a review, that would be awesome. That helps us out a ton with better distribution, whatever stars you feel is appropriate. So thank you so much. Always appreciate your time for listening. We'll talk to you next week.